When I'd gone into prison, I was homeless. I'd been living in a tent in Nashville, Tennessee for 3 years.
I've been locked up in TDC 2 different times.
I've been incarcerated 3 times. I've been to prison 3 times.
I have been incarcerated for 9 years.
In segregation for 8.5 years.
I was in prison of my own making a long time before I got behind bars. I was in prison of drugs and alcohol and pornography and self. I was addicted to self. I was addicted to pride. I was addicted to work. I was addicted to money.
Prisons are sometimes looked down in prisons as the least of these, as the worst of the worst.
Unfortunately, people make mistakes, and people down the street or next door neighbor.
The society has thrown them away and treated them like they're trash.
But come to find out, if you search out the Bible, prisoners are talked about a lot by God.
The story of Jesus on the cross when he was dying, and one of his last ministries on earth was to 2 prisoners.
God loves prisoners. He's just waiting for them to make the decision for him to draw them by Spirit to salvation.
Having prison ministries coming in to minister to the guys and girls is very important. That lets you know that someone out there really cares.
Believe me, when somebody from the outside came, which it was prison ministry, them support groups, and talked to you, I mean, that made a whole lot of difference.
As churches and ministers come in and speak to us, when we're incarcerated, they don't realize the difference that they make in our lives makes a difference in our children's lives, in our families' lives.
To have people come in the prison ministries that have been incarcerated themselves, that gives you so much hope, because if this man can make it, it gives me hope that I can.
When Jesus got a hold of me and I figured out that there was really hope, that my future wouldn't have to be like my past.
I believe that in order to ensure the success of an offender coming out of prison, the first 90 days is the most important time that he has coming out of prison. He has to have support. He's going to have a place to live. He's going to have some food. He's going to have some clothes.
I think when we look at the reasons why inmates return back, I believe it's because there are just not enough positive mentors.
You can do the best you can to tell them and help them, but if they get back into the wrong place or the wrong crowd, then they are in trouble again.
I had fear that I wasn't going to be able to stay away from old places and people, because that has been a struggle that I've had in the past.
They are facing a lot of fears of just making decisions, the simplest decision, because they're used to being in a environment where they're told 24/7 what to do, when to do it, and where to do it.
When you've been released after being, say, a person been locked up 10 years, that person may have a problem dealing with society because he haven't had the last 10 years 100% in making his own decisions.
We've got to walk with them through life and start discipling them and showing them that there's a better way to live. There's better choices that they can make.
They need the support of the local church that would come alongside of them and guide them.
And I believe mentoring is one of the greatest needs, to have somebody to come alongside and support you and to hold you accountable.
Don Castleberry and Freedom in Jesus Ministries, they weren't there to give me just a handout and send me on my way. They were serious about, instead of giving me a handout, they gave me a leg up. They gave me encouragement.
At the very instant, every very instant you think about going the other way, there's someone else you can call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, any time of the day or night, and they will help you along.
They just want an opportunity to prove themselves that they can make it in the free world. They don't want to go back to prison. They want to make it and be a success for Jesus on the outside.
There's nobody that knows how to love prisoners better than Don Castleberry.
His heart is for these inmates, male or female, and he just wants to reach them all for Jesus.
It is possible to to allow God to so change your life that you never have to go back and repeat, keep getting caught up in this cycle.
As I prayed and prayed, I became more and more close to the intimate, and finally I had a personal encounter with Jesus, and there's no turning back for me.
Amen.